All right, welcome back for project number 2 of Creativity Delivered, February 2022. We've got this beautiful card here. It's a card in a box, which are super fun. And this is using the Flowering Rainboots bundle. I'm gonna show you guys how easy and fun these kind of pop-up cards can be. In your kits, you'll have a bunch of pieces. Now, my customers, again, Ashley and I used a lot of the same colored cards, DSP, and so you actually don't have enough of the colors that I used, like the greens and the stripes. So you're going to have to cut whatever you have in other colors of your choosing to do this project. That's why I didn't cut paper for you guys, because I didn't know what it is that you would choose as your alternative. I went ahead and went with this kind of yellow cloud looking designer series paper. The back side are those little rainbows, so I chose the clouds for one, and then I had some stripes left over for mine, but again, you might not have stripes, so you'll have to pick a different color for the second set. You'll need 2 pieces that are 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 and 1 piece that's 1 3/4 by 3 1/4, and you'll need that times 2, so you'll need it in 2 different colors of DSP. You also need a piece of this blue paper, which I've already cut for you. This one is 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. You'll have another piece of white, basic white, that's 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. Do not be stamping or anything on this one. This one is for assembling. You will need some clouds. So this designer series paper has some really cute cloud pieces. So you'll need a few of those. You can either fussy cut them, or if you have the cloud punch, you can punch them out. You just need 2 clouds. So I've already punched one, and there's my second cloud. So if you have some of this paper and your clouds, you can punch them or just fussy cut them out, or you can stamp some, because I believe there is, oh no, there's not a stamp for it. So you'll have to cut it out of the paper. Now, you also need 2 pieces of thick basic white. These are 4 by 6. We're going to score those real quick here in a second. You also need 2 pieces of another thick basic white that are 1 by 5. We're going to score those. I have already punched postage punch stamp for our label. You have a piece of silver for die cutting the little tool here. And then we need a scrap to do our stamping and die cutting. So let's go ahead and score first. So we'll move all these little pieces out of the way. We're going to get our scoreboard out, and we're going to score these pieces. Now this scoring's already been done for you, but I want to show you how to score so that you know how to make this project again. So we have our 2 pieces that are 4 by 6. You're going to score on the long side at 2 and 5 1/2. Okay, and then you're going to turn it and score at 2 on both pieces. Okay, so that's it for scoring. Now we're going to take our scissors, and we are going to cut up along the score line. It's kind of hard to see, but you should be able to find it. Cut up along the score line to that first score line in the middle, and do it again here. And then cut off this little rectangle piece here so that it looks like this, okay? And we're going to repeat the same thing on this one. Same exact thing. Cut up. And then cut this little rectangle off, like so. So there is our 2 pieces. Now we can fold and burnish. So we can take our bone folder and fold along the score lines. Now, the ones that are going up and down, you want to fold those in, and then you want to take these flaps and fold them out. And that's how the box card's going to be made. So folding in, folding out. Sorry for this glare from my window. I don't know how to block it. Okay, so now we're going to take our 2 pieces and we're going to adhere them together on this little tab. So take your tear and tape and adhere that down. Like so, okay? And then we're going to do the same thing over here on the end. And we're gonna fold this and adhere that down. All right, okay. Now, one side is going to be the front, and then the one side is going to be the back. And the back actually doesn't need to be folded at all. And to help keep the back straight, we're gonna adhere a piece of Designer Series paper to the inside. So this is that 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. We're gonna glue that to the inside. And then we'll also have this as the back. So we're gonna stamp, and you can put your sentiment here, and we're gonna glue it to the back. That's gonna keep the back super sturdy, and it won't fold. So we'll put adhesive on that. Stick it to the inside. So I like to use liquid glue so I have a little bit of an adjustment time. Like so, okay? All right, so then we have the strips that we're gonna glue to the front and the back. I mean the top, yeah, the top and the back. So I did my stripes in the front when the box is closed. Again, you might not be able to use the exact same DSP, but whatever DSP you choose, you can put the long strip there in the front, see? And then you're gonna put the squares on the sides. So square here, this is that 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 square there, and here. Okay, and then for the inside flaps, we're gonna do this kind of yellow cloud paper. Put it this way. Not that there's an up and a down side to this, but whatever makes sense. So, and I always like to glue things when they're flat, so whatever helps you. Sometimes when it's up in a box form, it's hard to glue down, so make it easy on yourself and glue it while it's flat. Okay, all right, remember those 2 strips that are 5 by 1? We need to score those now and put them on the box. So let's go ahead and get our scoreboard out one more time. And these are scored at 3/4 of an inch from both ends. So 3/4 of an inch. Turn it over. Sorry, I'm out of frame. 3/4 of an inch. Okay. Now we want to fold and burnish those really well. It's going to help us have a nice clean box. And I like to use liquid glue when putting these in because, again, you have a little bit of a grace period, a little wiggle before it's permanently glued down. Okay, this is the important piece. So when we're putting this in the box, we want to make sure that the edge of this is bumped right up against the back of the card. So put it right up against the back of the card, a little bit down from the top of the box. See if I can get a hold of this here. So see how it's going to be right there. And then we just want to close it, fold and close both ways, making sure that it's nice and flush. We're going to do it again with this piece. So putting adhesive on there, and then we're going to butt this piece up against the first piece. So slide this in, butt it right up against the back piece there. And then we want to fold, make sure that it folds nice and easy. Perfect. Okay, so that is the beginnings of our box. And now we're going to decorate. So I say put your clouds down first because there's less things in the way of it. And I would glue them down with dimensionals if you have them, to just pop them up a little bit. And I'm going to do mine fairly high so you can see him behind all the things that are going to go in our box. So there are my clouds in the background. Okay, now it's time to stamp and decorate. So I'm gonna hold this in here. I've got 2 sets of flowers, the boots and the pail, the flowering pail, and a little box of seeds. So here are the boots, and they're going to be stamped in Mango Melody. So let's go ahead and get our scrap and stamp all the things that we need. And pick up some of my mess here. So Mango Melody boots. And if you have a Wink of Stella pen or a blender pen, it's kind of fun to kind of come in with it and color the boots, because it pulls the color into the white areas, and also it makes it shiny and sparkly too, but it's kind of blends the colors in together, and I really like that look. So if you like this look, you can, while the ink is wet, you can come back over it with a blender brush or blender pen or a Wink of Stella pen and kind of make the colors look kind of cool. All right, so now we're gonna do the pail. We're gonna do that in Misty Moonlight. So let's get the pail out on a block. We need the tulip stems and the flowers. And the sentiment, our friendship is naturally beautiful. Oh, and we also need our little, there we go. So, what did we do with our pot? Oh, we didn't take it out. We need the flower pot. Excuse me. Okay. Bam. I'm gonna do these two together here on the same block. Okay. Excuse me. So we're gonna put our pail here. And you can do the same thing too with your Wink of Stella pen if you like, and you can pull the colors into the white and kind of blend it a little bit if you want. Make it look shiny. Okay. I need a new Wink of Stella. Oop. Okay, and then we got our plants, which we're going to use Granny Apple Green for the plant color. And we need 2 of them. So there's 1 and 2. Okay, and then our tulips, we did a set of Blushing Bride and a set of Magenta Madness. So let's see if we can get these all on here. Might have to get another scrap. There's Blushing Bride. Excuse me. And Magenta Madness. Okay, so there's our flowers. And we still need another scrap for our little, excuse me, our little seed packet, which I'm going to do in Mango Melody. And then our little postage stamp, we might as well, while we have the ink out, do our sentiment with the postage stamp punch thing. So Misty Moonlight. And we're going to stamp that. All right, so we've done all the stamping. Now it's time to die cut. And really, you can decorate. I mean, you could put so many different elements on this. There's lots of, you know, the little pots, the different kinds of flowers. So you could choose what kinds of things you're using to decorate. So next I built my tulips. So I'm just putting a little glue at the ends of my tulip stems so that I can then glue my flowers to them so that they'll stick. Okay, and my tulips I glued to the front of my box here, just down in the corner. So you can do that. I am gonna cut this stem down because it's kind of in the way with the edge. And I'm just gonna bring these flowers down and over. You don't want them to be in the way and you don't want them to stick out. So you wanna make sure that you move them far enough over that they're not sticking out past the edge. Okay, so there's my tulips in the front. Then I'm gonna do my pail, and I'm gonna glue just the back of my pail to this front edge here. And again, making sure that the pail doesn't go past the edge. And I'm just gonna kind of take it down a little bit. I don't want it to be too tall because I've got lots of other layers that I'm gonna put behind it. So there's my pail, like so, behind the flowers. And then I'm gonna get my boots and I'm gonna glue them also to the back here on the second tab. Okay, so there's my boots. And then we have one more set of flowers that we're gonna glue together. Just a little bit of glue along these little stems. There we go. And then we're gonna glue these to the back of this piece here, next to the boots. You want them to be a little bit taller than the pail. So have them so they're poking up as tall as they can, right? So we can have some layers. So there's what we've got so far. And then we'll take our label and we'll put some dimensionals behind it. And pop this onto the front of our card. And then I just glued my little seed packet to the corner. You can also put a dimensional back behind to kind of help it pop up. There we go. And then your little tool, I just draped it across like so. And voila. And then you have this back piece that you can stamp. You can, I just did the boots. I did another set of the boots. I think I did them in Pool Party, but I'll do them in Mango Melody again this time. But you can stamp the boots, you could stamp the pail, you could not stamp anything, you could stamp a sentiment and then sign your name. So it's just kind of a place, oops, gonna turn that over. Sometimes with these photopolymer stamps, it's good to use a piercing mat or some sort of foam mat to help with the stamping so that it's nice and even. I'm gonna take my Wink of Stella again and go over it because I kind of like how it changes the color a little bit. It makes it more yellow. See how it changes the color? Kind of like that, but you can choose whichever color you like. And then we'll put some adhesive on the back. And glue that down here. You can write your sentiment and send it to someone that you've been thinking of. Put a smile on their face. Look at that. Isn't that so cute? Well, I hope you enjoyed these projects. Also embellish however you choose if you want to add some of your silver or clear epoxies. I would love to see your rendition of this project if you choose to add different colors or add different elements like the pot of flowers or something. I'd love to see your brilliant ideas for this fun card in a box. Thank you guys so much. Bye-bye.